guys, welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm doing a follow-up to last week's video, which is my knee injury video. If you haven't watched last week's video, you probably should go watch it because I'll talk about like the specific things I mentioned in that video. And also I talked about when the injury happened, how it happened, why it happened, and all of those kind of stuff. In this video, I'm basically gonna rank all of the treatment or like pain relief stuff I did and kind of explain my experience with each one. And also just a disclaimer, I'm not like a medical professional or whatever like that. This is just my experience and based on the research I did. So do your own research as well. And then later I'll talk about some of the workout changes I'm doing. So what I'm doing with my workouts, what I'm doing instead of squats, and basically how my coach is programming my workouts with this knee injury. So I basically injured my medial meniscus in my left knee, and now there's like a good amount of improvement. In last week's video, I can only like squat this much down. Now I can squat down a lot more. Also, there's less pain and I can stand longer. So yeah, that's kind of the two criteria I'm basing all of this on. So either less pain, aka I can like do more work, and second is if I am gaining mobility and I can squat deeper. So those are the two things I'll be judging all of these like treatment options on. Okay, so I'm gonna start from like the least helpful thing and work my way up to like what I think is the most helpful. And some of these are really hard to rank because some are internal, some are external, some help pain, some help mobility. But I'm just gonna like average them and weigh it out that way. But they're not like in that set in stone order 100%, but like relatively it still works. So the worst thing, or like the thing that I did that helped the least, is essential oils. So I put some essential oil like on the joint, which should reduce inflammation, but I started using essential oils after the inflammation went down already, a week or two after the injury happened. And I think by that time it was just like the meniscus that was a little bit torn or injured. There wasn't any inflammation, so that's why the essential oil didn't work. I think that's my reasoning, but that's like the thing that I didn't feel like worked at all. It didn't make things worse, of course, but that's like the thing that worked the least, I guess. So going up the list, next is tennis shoes. So I wore tennis shoes for like 2 to 3 days when my knee was hurting the most, and the reason for doing that is because I couldn't stand for long. Like I literally had to stand with both legs touching each other because I didn't have any strength to hold myself up. So that's why I wore some tennis shoes to kind of like have that arch support. As I mentioned, I'm flat-footed, and kind of correct my feet. So my feet would be like this. My shoes would correct my feet back. It would like support me on the sides. But the problem is that every single pair of shoes I have, they're too tight around the sides and they make my feet uncomfortable because I just have really wide feet. So wearing tennis shoes like for the whole day actually made my feet hurt. About like 2 to 3 days later, my calf and my ankle started hurting super bad. Like it was gone the next day because it was like an outward pain, like there's something causing it. So once I took the cause away, everything was fine. But the tennis shoes did cause that, and now since I have more strength in my knees and in my feet, I'm not as weak as when like the peak of the injury. I don't really need tennis shoes, so I'm not wearing them anymore. And also I'm wearing these pair of shoes that I just made, and I literally shaped them to my feet. Like this is the shape of my feet. I cannot find a single shoe that is shaped like this. Since I do spend most of my time at home, I made these slippers. They're really comfortable because they're made for me. So yeah, tennis shoes is rated second to last because they helped my knee in like supporting my body, but they made my feet worse. So number 8 would be collagen. So I did take collagen supplements, like a scoop of collagen to help my knee repair better. This is like the thing where I don't really know if it actually helped or not, since I don't really know what would happen if I didn't take it. Also because it's internal, like it's really hard to test if it actually worked or not, but it should have worked, especially like the day or two after I started taking collagen. My improvement like shot up, but that just might be the timing of the injury and also like all of the other things I did. I do also drink like chicken broth soup and those kind of stuff that also has collagen in it. So for me, the reason why I ranked it so low is that collagen has caused side effects to me. It's like a amino acid, like a type of protein. So when you take too much of that, which I only took 1 scoop, it says 1 to 2 scoops daily. I took like less than a scoop daily, but it caused me to poop less, which is not good because that means poor drainage. So that's not good. The other thing that I think it caused my cycle to start early. Collagen does have estrogen in it. I did like a tiny bit of research on this, but collagen does have estrogen. and that does cause changes in my cycle. So I have stopped taking collagen. I might take like half a scoop every 2 to 3 days. Like, I personally don't think I'm lacking collagen in my diet, and collagen supplements do cause 2 big side effects for me. That's why I personally don't recommend taking any kind of supplements. First of all, like, I don't take synthetic supplements, period, because they're not made for the body, right? They're synthetic, they're not natural. But the collagen I was taking, it is natural and it's grass-fed. What I think is that the balance is not right. Like, my body is not supposed to intake a scoop of collagen every day. What I like to think of is that you eat chicken, you're supposed to eat the whole chicken, cook the bones and all of that kind of stuff. There's only so much collagen in the bones, and that's all you need, because, you know, God created everything perfectly. So the balance is there, like the amount of protein, the amount of collagen, the amount of fat, the amount of everything is perfect. Like, the balance is good. So when you take supplements, you're like overextending one certain nutrient, and your body like would suddenly be not balanced. So that's why I personally don't take a lot of supplements. This was just one time because I had the injury and I knew that collagen would help, and I think it did, but it did cause side effects. That's why I stopped it for like 2 days, and my stool slowly became normal again. And a supplement is still a supplement, it's not food. So there's that. Okay, so the 7th best thing that I did was wearing 2 layers of pants, which I still do now to just keep my leg warm, to keep the blood flowing. Like, before my injury, when I wore 1 pair of pants, I didn't feel like my legs were cold, and like adding another pair of pants, it definitely has kept me warmer, but it's not like that big of an improvement, but definitely didn't cause anything bad. It's definitely somewhat helping in like keeping everything warm to help me recover faster. So what I would rank as the 6th best is the exercises the PT gave me. So if you want to know what exercises I'm talking about, they're in last week's video. She only gave me like 3 exercises since it was like a free 15-minute call. These exercises like only improved my mobility by just a tiny bit. I think they improved it like instantly. Like, I could squat deeper after doing it, but then a few hours later that would go away. And also, it's really hard to do these exercises exactly to the point right before you get pain, since most of the time you will hit the pain and then be like, oh, I should back off a little. So it's kind of hard to know when you're gonna have pain before you have pain. So that's why a lot of times after I did these exercises, I got a little bit more knee pain, like a tiny bit more, because I just didn't know where to stop. Like, it was pain-free until I hit, for example, rep 7, and that caused pain. I can't like go back a rep. That's the only thing I would say about exercises. Also, I just think with me, like, I just need the injury to heal. It's not like a mobility issue, a muscle issue. I just need the part to heal. Like, if it's healed, I'm gonna be fine. Like, doing too many exercises, the only benefit would be like causing blood flow and making sure I keep my mobility, but I can like do other stuff to make sure I keep my mobility, like more pain-free stuff. Okay, 5th best I would say is the Epsom salt warm compresses. When I was like in the peak injury, I did this twice a day, and now I do this once a day at night. So I just have like warm towels that's soaked in Epsom salt water. I put that on top of my knees, like hold it there for a while to let the magnesium soak in. And this is like number 5, so it's like one of the things that I feel like helped a lot. It definitely kept my knees warm because it's like a warm thing just like smacked down on my knees. And every single time I finish doing this, I do feel relief in my knees. So it is like a actual feeling of relief. Everything is looser there, and I do feel better after I do that. Okay, number 4 is the infrared heat lamp therapy. The reason why I ranked this number 4 is because I had really good results with this on my hip, so I know that it should work. I usually do this and Epsom salt compressives together, but usually like between it, I like move my knee a few times and I can like feel if there's improvement before doing the heat lamp. But heat lamp definitely, number 1, just makes things warmer and increases the circulation and the blood flow, which promotes healing. And also, since it's infrared heat, that heat can penetrate 3 to 4 inches deep into basically your bones. Like, it can go through your bones, which is different from like a sauna or like the warm compresses, because even though that feels warm or even hot sometimes, the heat doesn't sink deep into your bones. And same thing with the Epsom salt compresses. My knees always feel really good after doing this, and sometimes like my right knee would get a little bit of pain as well from just overuse, and after I do the heat lamp therapy, it would be almost gone. So this is something definitely that I think has helped a lot. Number 3 is every single time I go to the garage or work out or anything like that, or go outside, I wear these thin knee sleeves. So This is number 3 because first of all, it helps support me and it helps me use less of my knee and rely on the sleeves more. So it's like basically supporting me, right? So I can stand for longer amounts of time when I'm wearing my knee sleeves. The downside to this is that I like don't feel pain because I'm relying on the sleeves, and I still have to make sure I'm not standing for too long even when I don't feel the pain. So that's the only downside to wearing knee sleeves. I don't wear them always. I usually wear them when I have to stand for a very long time. Also when I work out, even when I do upper body stuff. But this is like a really simple way to just keep your knees warm and to like help support me and reduce the likelihood of getting pain. So this doesn't reduce pain, it just reduces the likelihood of me getting pain, which is also really good. Okay, number 2 is Rife machine. I explained it more in last week's video, but basically it's just listening to frequencies that correlates with whatever injury you have. So I listen to frequencies for knee pain, and some of the frequencies, when I put it right next to my knee, I can literally feel my leg vibrating at that frequency. So it definitely does target the right thing. And a lot of times where I had knee pain, I did this for like 15 minutes and my pain was gone. That's why I ranked it number 2. Like this one, I can exactly feel that it is doing something to my body like almost instantly. And this is like something that's really accessible to everyone. You don't have to like actually buy a Rife machine, even though that's like the best option. I have an app on my iPad that literally just has everything on there. It's called Z app. I've noticed that if you search knee pain frequency on YouTube and like the videos come up, I tried those and those don't work that well because they're not just gonna play one single frequency like just like that. They usually play a mix, and that doesn't work as well as just like listening to one frequency. So that's what my app does. It just plays that one frequency. If it's like 250 hertz, it's just like 250 hertz. That's all you're gonna hear, and it's only around like 3 minutes per frequency. So yeah, it's really accessible and it works really well. So that's why I ranked it number 2. Okay, and number 1 best thing that I've done is just sitting and resting more, and also like sleeping more. That definitely has helped. Every single morning when I wake up, like I see a little bit more improvement. And like sleep is where your body just heals itself. So sleep is really important. Sitting more, resting more, not like causing more pain, not standing too much, not working out that much, especially lower body. That I think is the best option. Like with any injury, if you rest a good amount and keep your mobility, usually these 2 things, you can overcome anything. Because no matter how bad your body is, it's always trying to heal yourself. Like your immune system is always trying to heal yourself and like fight off any bad things. That's what going to the restroom, sweating, all that kind of stuff is. So that's why you want to feed your body good stuff, and it's gonna filter out the bad stuff. Maybe not super fast, but slowly but surely. Also, it's always just trying to heal. So to assist that, we do like all these things like heat the body, eat good stuff. But the more you sleep, the more you rest, the faster your body's gonna heal. So that's number 1. Everyone can do that, and that's the thing that I think worked the most. Okay, so for some program changes, the first change that my coach made to my program is that instead of doing squats, which I can't really do, like I can kind of do a squat now, like to depth, but I don't want to push that limit and like hurt myself again. So the first thing we're doing is we are taking out squats for now and replacing it with high box squats. And the box is higher than depth. It's basically just my bench, and it's a really comfortable position that I can load a good amount of weight but have no pain. So the point of doing this, I still can load good weight and get used to squatting but not have any knee issues. So when I do box squats, my knees don't go past my toes, which with normal squatting it's fine, and for me and for my femur length and that kind of stuff, I should have my knees go past my toes. But that does cause more irritations because the weight is distributed between my hips and my knees. But with this, most of the weight is on my hips, so there's not a lot of pressure on my knees. And everything is at a pretty low RP, so RP5 to RP6. So yeah, that's the first change I'm making, is I'm doing box squats instead of squats. Second change is I'm taking out one of my deadlift days and doing RDLs instead, because the less knee bending I do, the less pain I have. So even though it doesn't really hurt when I do conventional deadlift, I still want to just like limit the amount of times that I do use my knee but still train legs. So that's why I'm doing barbell RDL. For bench press, basically everything is going to be either Larsen or no leg drive. Larsen press is just where my legs are straight out forward. Of course, I don't use leg drive that way. And the second way is just like where I put my feet down, like on the ground, but I don't drive it. So I don't push my feet into the ground, and also I don't bring my feet as back, so like as close to my head as I usually do. So when I bench press, I like to bring my feet closer to my head because that way it gets me a bigger arch. But when I do that, I do have to bend my knees a lot. Being in that position doesn't hurt, but when I have to drive my feet down to keep myself in that position, it does hurt. That's why I'm just doing bench press without using any leg drive basically. So that's why all of the weights are also lower than usual, because I can't push my feet down to get the drive, and also I can't push my feet down to get a tighter arch. Another thing is that a bunch of my lower body accessories are gone, like no leg press, of course, no Bulgarian split squats. A lot of these things I have to bend my knees a lot, and that would cause pain. But in replace of that, one thing my coach has added is after almost every single session, I do some body weight exercises. So on one of my days, I do a 5-1-0 tempo body weight squat to comfort. So first of all, I only go as deep as I comfortably can. So if it's not depth, if it's more in depth, I go to where I'm comfortable. I do a 5-1-0 tempo, so 5 counts on the way down, pause 1 count on the bottom, and then 0 counts on the way up. Slow on the way down to make sure I don't like accidentally go too fast and hit somewhere where I get pain. A pause at the bottom to stay in that position and to like see where it's at. 0 on the way up, so that means I have to try to be as explosive as I can on the way up. And it's just body weight, and I just do a few sets to however many reps I feel comfortable, around RP 5. So not only does this work my lower body, this also just gives me a guideline of how much I'm improving in my range of motion. Based on that, I can make decisions on whether I should switch back to squatting, or I should add another exercise in, or I can use a lower box with squatting. So we're gonna base the rest of the program on that, and that measures my improvement. So yeah, those are basically the biggest change that my coach has made to my program, and like all of it is just pretty light-ish RP, like 6 to 7, especially for lower body work, because I don't want to overwork myself again and get more pain. And yeah, so for the next few videos, you're probably gonna see these exercises, and also like when it gets to the week, I'll talk about when each exercise is coming out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like the video if you did, and comment down below any questions you have or any videos you want me to make. Also follow me on Instagram because I usually post on there first, and subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss another one of my videos. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon.